Hello and welcome to this little knitting podcast. I have thought about doing a podcast for quite a long time, and some of you might have seen the little yarn tour part, whip tour part on TikTok, where I already told you that I wanted to do a knitting podcast. So yeah, here we are, and I will try to do so today. First off, I am sorry if I'm pronouncing something wrong or saying something weird. English isn't my first language. Actually, it's German. So yes, I'm still trying to figure out whether I should do these videos in German or English. So I thought I'd start with the first one in English, and you can tell me in the comments or wherever what you like better. But yes, I mean, there's been a lot of people who do yarn podcasts or knitting podcasts or something like that. So of course it's nothing new, but I always like to watch them. So I thought, why not do one myself? And that's what we're trying to do today. Typically yarn podcasts or knitting podcasts are separated in different parts. It's often separated in finished objects, whips, and then talking about some yarn or stuff. And that is what I want to do as well, I think. So yeah, let's get right into it. I just started editing the video and I've realized that I didn't introduce myself to you. And I'm sorry about that. So I wanted to do that now. Hello, my name is Paulina. You might have guessed that already from the name of this channel, and I'm really happy about everyone who clicked on this video and decided to stay until this point. And I hope you will like this little knitting podcast. Maybe you're knitting yourself. Let me know in the comments if you've been knitting during this podcast. And yes, let's go on with the video now. I will try to wear something that I've knitted myself in every podcast. So I want to start the podcast by talking a little bit about the things that I'm wearing. And today I'm wearing this beautiful cardigan that I made with the help of the step-by-step cardigan pattern by Handmade by Florence, and I love this cardigan so much. I only followed the pattern for like the numbers of stitches that I had to pass on and had to increase and stuff. The main difference that I made to the original pattern is I knitted it quite a bit longer because I don't know, I had this much yarn and I wanted to have a nice long cozy cardigan. And yes, also another thing, I don't think that the original works with a twisted rib. Maybe it does, I'm not quite sure, I'm sorry. But yes, I knitted this in Drops Air, and I think it's the color Wheat, but I'm not quite sure about that. Yes, as I said in the beginning, I already filmed a little whip tour and uploaded it to my TikTok. So I think we will start with whips as well in here. And one that I have lying in front of me is this sock. I think in the whip tour I only had like the ankle part. I only was at it until here, the ankle part, but now I've already knitted the heel, and I'm also already decreasing for the little cap, heel cap part. So yes, it's coming along quite nicely. And also, I can not say it enough, I love these needles, and I would advise anyone who is struggling with sock knitting because it's just too small and too whatever, and maybe you're not into magic loop method, which I wasn't either. But then these needles are most precious and I really love working with them, and socks are so easy with them now. I wonder if mittens or something like that would be as easy as well on those needles. I guess so, but I will see. I made a mistake over here. I think I did a yarn over by accident, but I don't think it's that bad. So yes, this one is knitted in Rob's Fable, one of my favorite sock yarns. To be honest, it is only the second one I've tried, and I didn't really like the first one, so this one I really like. But yes, it's coming along quite nicely. That's only the first sock of the pair, so even if that one is finished, I still need to do the second one. I'm knitting these for myself. Oh yes, and the pattern is I think it's the Walking on the Moon pattern. It's also patterned by Drops Design, so it's free, so go and check it out. I think I'll stay in the small whips area for now. The second whip that I want to show you is this one. This one is something that I'm not quite sure about, because I wanted to make myself another scarf, but I didn't want to make one in the gardener stitch like the Sophie scarf, and I really like moss stitch in general, and it's also something easy, and it's a stitch where I thought like it would be easy for me to work out the increases and stuff, because I'm not knitting that from a pattern. I'm knitting that freehand, if you will. But yes, I am not quite sure if I like it, because the moss stitch, or the way I am knitting it and the way I am increasing, the moss stitch forces me to make my increases every, don't let me lie, I think it's every 6th or 7th row, and that leads to it not, getting very broad very fast. On the other hand, I also kind of like it, because like that, I don't want a big scarf. I only want, it's probably not a good idea to do that with a mic over there, but I wanted a little tiny, or not tiny, but a nice scarf that I could wear whenever, you know. It is knitted in a beautiful merino wool. It should be the Cool Wool Big, I guess, from Lana Grossa, and I kind of like this color. It's not a special one, but it's also a color that you could wear to a lot of different things, and I have 2 balls of it. So what my plan is now is that I'm going to finish this skein of yarn, and then I would start my decreases. But I will see if I'm growing fonder of this scarf and if I like it more when I finished this skein, and if not, I'm considering to frog it. Coming on to my next whip, and this is kind of exciting because I am doing another video on that whip, because I wanted to try and film the whole journey, like from start to finish. I've also already shown that one in the whip tour on TikTok, and it's this for now. This is the start of the Winter Pearl sweater. It's a drops pattern as well, and I already love it. And it's a special one because this would be my first structured piece, because it has some cables in it. And yes, I'm trying to make a whole different video about that one, how I am knitting this from the beginning till the end. Actually, this video will be in German, because that will be the video where I test if German works better than English. And yes, I am knitting this one in Drops Kit Silk Marzipan together with Drops Alpaca color, I think colorway is Nature. And yes, these are being held together, and this is also the color combination that was mentioned in the pattern, and I just thought that it was so pretty. Also because, I don't know, it's a very wintry sweater, and I feel like this color would be just beautiful. I also think that the pattern looks very nicely in this color, so, and I didn't want to risk it, so I thought, why not just go with the exact amount and color of yarn that was mentioned in the pattern. So yes, okay. And I think next one is already the last whip that we are going to talk about, and this is this beauty. In the TikTok, I was only finished with the first front piece and was knitting on the second one, but I'm not quite sure. Go rewatch that one if you want to see the progress. But I know that I wasn't as far as I am right now. I have connected in the round, yay! And it's a stockinette sweater, so that means this will be my mindless knitting project from now on for a while, and I love it because I always like when I have different projects with different difficulties, because sometimes you just want to knit stockinette for 2 hours, and sometimes you need a little bit more of a challenge. But this one is, and I'm really excited about that one, this one is a test knit, and this is going to be the typical cross mock neck. Did I say it right? I think so. It's a pattern from Typical Bliss, and I am so excited that I was chosen for the test knit because I think she wore this sweater in a yarn corner last year. That was when I first laid my eyes on this beauty of a sweater. So I was waiting for that pattern to come out, and when she was searching for test knitters, I thought I might just apply, because why not? And surprise, surprise, I actually got chosen, and that is so cool because not only is this my first test knit for her, which I'm really excited about because I like her design pieces in general a lot, but it's also this very, very nice sweater that I am really excited about. So can't wait to finish this one and to wear it. And yes, oh, I haven't even talked about what it is knitted in. This lovely sweater is knitted in 1 strand of Drops Daisy and 1 strand Kit Silk as well. I am not quite sure about the colors, but I think that one was something like hazelnut or nougat, I think. And this is light beige, I think. I still had 4 skeins of this one in my stash, and apparently I need 5 overall in this pattern, so I just went and bought the daisy and then 1 other skein of the Drops Kit Silk, and we'll see if that's enough, but it should be, actually. Also, what I really love about this pattern is that it is knitted on 5.5mm needles, which is just a blessing because I have knitted quite a lot on smaller needles in the last few months, and being back on some bigger needles is really nice. Next category, or next step in this video knitting podcast, is going to be finished objects. Since it is already November and Christmas is coming up, of course I will be gift knitting a little bit, and I also already finished some of these gift knits, but I won't show them in here because I'm not sure if my parents or my family will ever watch this video, but if they do, I don't want to spoil them, and I also wanted to do a Christmas gift knits video on its own, which will be probably uploaded after Christmas, so that is where I will be including my gift knits. So for now, I'm only showing you the projects that I finished that are not being gifted to anyone. And since this is my first podcast, I wasn't quite sure what projects I would be showing you. I mean, of course, I won't be showing you every sweater that I ever knitted. I gathered finished knits from past 1 or 2 months. I think I will start with a piece that I finished about a while ago, and I'm so happy that I finally finished it because it was also on 3mm needles. I am talking about this beautiful moonset tee. Hope you can see it a little bit. This one is a pattern by Ozetta, and I had this lovely green yarn and I really wanted to make a t-shirt from it, but I didn't quite know which one I should do, and for the moonset tee I had just about enough. The yarn is drop saffron in, I think it is called moss green. It is a bit lighter than I imagined it from the website. I still love it because if I'm knitting colors, then it will be probably green, because otherwise I'm not that colorful. And that was really nice to knit. I really liked it despite the 3mm needles part, but I think the construction is really nice. I really like the neck part. It's kind of ribbing, but you don't really see that. And I think the original pattern has an I-cord edge, but I didn't want to do that, or I'm not sure. I just wasn't in the mood for I-cord. So I made this double stockinette bind off, and I think it's really cute. I did it on the sleeves right here and also on the bottom, and it looks very nice. So yes, but now it's fall and it's really cold. But anyways, this will be in my closet for winter now and will be brought back when sun is coming out again. Let's get on with another, I'd say rather summery piece, because it's knitted in a cotton merino mix, so it's also a rather light sweater. And it's this one. This is the Never Ending Story sweater by, I'm always not quite sure, because I think on Ravelry the designer is called Susanne Müller, but on Instagram, for example, she's called Paula Knits or Paula Strickt in German. And so I'm not sure, but this is her construction, her pattern, and it's a, wow, I have to look up the stitch name in English. I think it's brioche, but not full brioche. I will insert it somewhere here. But I really like to knit it. It is actually quite easy once you get a hang of it. This is also a dropped shoulder construction, so you knit back piece first, then the 2 front pieces, and then connect everything. And the neck is worked with an I-cord edge here, and yes, I really love it. It blocked very nicely, because at first I was a little bit afraid that it wasn't long enough for me, because if you bind up at the point where it says in the pattern, then it's still a bit short, but it blocked very nicely. As I said, the yarn is a cotton merino blend. I think it's 50-50, and it's also from Drops, so it's the Drops cotton merino yarn. And I don't know what the color was called. I will insert it also somewhere over here. Yeah, so that's the other finished object. Also something that I probably won't wear too much right now, because it's just not warm enough to wear this one, but still, for some warmer fall days, I think it's fine. Yesterday I've actually worn that for half of the day and it was perfect. So, but yesterday also there was sun outside and stuff like that. We don't have that at the moment. I will go on with a smaller finished project. This is knitted in the same yarn as this cardigan was, so drops air and also the same color. And this one is this neck piece. It's also knitted in brioche stitch. And yes, I've worn it 2 times or something because I'm not quite used to these neck things. I think it's quite a big thing in Scandinavia, but I haven't seen people in Germany wear stuff like that a lot. But I really like it, and it also goes extremely nice together with the jacket that I own. So yeah, also like 2 rows or something before I finished the whole thing, I realized that I made quite a mistake over here. I think I missed the yarn over or something at one point. You can kind of see it over here. But good thing when I'm wearing this one, it is rather on the side here, this little mistake, and it's not too bad. And I mean, you don't have to wear it like this. You can also go like this and then like have it fall quite nicely on your neck, and then you don't see that part. Okay, I think we're already down to 1 finished object left. So let's get it. And oh my god, this is my most favorite sweater. Probably not my most favorite sweater to knit. I think I've had more fun projects, but it is definitely my favorite sweater to wear. It is this beautiful, beautiful classic sweater by Espace Tricot, and I just love it. It is just so nice because it is the perfect basic sweater. You can wear it to literally anything. It is knitted in Drops Lima. I've had this yarn for quite a bit, so it was also in my stash, and it knitted up so beautifully, it blocked so beautifully, and I don't know what I did with this one. My tension, it was so good on here, or maybe it blocked out perfectly. I don't know, to be honest with you, but it's just so nice and I love it. It has this beautiful twisted rib neck and also twisted rib cuffs. It is pilling a bit around the cuffs, but I think that is because of my watch band. The yarn sometimes gets stuck in my watch band and then it pills a bit over there, because otherwise it isn't pilling at all. But I think I have to reblock it because the sleeves are a bit short for me. I like my sleeves to be quite long. With the sweater, the sleeves are about this long and that is a little bit too short for me. So I might have to reblock it and stretch the sleeves a bit more. I think that was already the last finished object that I finished over the past few months. Yeah, I think in the next part of this yarn podcast, I want to talk a bit about, I mean, you could call it yarn acquisitions or something, but I just want to call it acquisitions that I made that have something to do with knitting. And I think what I want to talk about first is something that I also haven't tried before, ever. And I have really enjoyed it over the last few weeks. And it's spinning with a drop spindle. So I've never done it before. I've seen people do it and I always thought about maybe doing it, and I went to a yarn market last month, and they sold quite a bit of this loose fiber and also some drop spindles. I went there quite in the beginning and was looking around and was contemplating if I should do that or not. And when I came back at the end of the yarn market, or at the end of my visit there, I went there and was like, why not? Why not just try it? It is probably something that would be really fun for me. And also, at one point, knitting with your own hand-spun yarn, I think that's amazing. I can't imagine anything more amazing. So yes, it went quite well so far. At first I had quite a few big bumps in there, but I think I'm doing pretty well. I don't know if you can see that. I think it's okay. I'm doing quite okay. Also, I have a lot of fiber left to spin up. So yeah, we will see how that goes. And by the time I'm finished with all of that, I don't know, maybe I will already have a pattern in mind that I want to knit with that, because I mean, I have quite a bit left to spin up, but yes. So on this market I also got some buttons, which I think are really nice. They are these like ceramic buttons, and I don't have a plan for them yet, but I just thought they looked nice. But yeah, I just got them and they are waiting for the perfect project to be used. Also on the same market, I did buy some yarn. I didn't want to buy a lot of yarn since I've already ordered quite a lot of yarn that month, because I needed it for the whips that you've seen in the first part, for test knits. But I was on this one stand and they had this really pretty Christmassy sock yarn, and yeah, we will see how they turn out. Also, that is quite a lot of yarn. That is, I have 150 grams over here, so I could probably make 2 pair of socks with that. Not quite sure, but probably. But yes, I'm not sure. I will see. I just thought the yarn was pretty. So I won't show you all of the yarn that I bought for the whips that are currently on my needles, because I kind of showed you the yarn already. So I will only talk about the yarn that isn't currently being worked up. So this one, I also got this one last month. This one is another set of Drops Air. I bought sweater quantity of that one because I wanted to make another brioche sweater with Drops Air, because I really liked the construction of this one, like with the shoulder part, front part, back part, and I really think that it would be quite easy to reconstruct it with that one. And I also found a drops pattern on their website which is quite similar, so even if I'm completely lost I can rely on the pattern. And yes, but I didn't work with it yet because it requires me to work on 7mm needles, which would be nice because who doesn't love bigger needles? But for the neck I would need to work with the short 7mm. So, and I didn't get my hands on those. To be honest, I have enough whips already, so I'm keeping this for afterwards. I really love Drops Air. It's so fluffy, it's so soft. and I can't wait to have another sweater of this one. Okay, and last but not least, this is actually something that has been in my stash for quite a while, so I was not sure if I should include it in that video or just leave it out, but I think I should include it for me to keep myself accountable, because I actually already know what I want to knit with it, but I just never started it. It's this really nice, extremely big ball of yarn. It's also a marled type with these really nice darker colors. It has a lot of red in here, some yellow, green, a little bit of orange, I guess. So a lot of nice colors. And this is, wait, this is 200 grams. So it's quite a lot. And my aunt is knitting as well, and she already knitted quite a lot of scarves from this yarn. And what she's doing is she's just making them triangle scarves. So she starts at the bottom, then always increases on the left and right, and then just knits until the skein is empty. So that is actually exactly the same what I wanted to do with this one, but I just never started it, and I don't know why. Because this is such a nice and easy project, and I would love a finished scarf of that one. And it is also taking quite a bit storage. And I have this rule for myself that I'm only allowed to buy yarn if there's still some space in my yarn drawer. So yes. So I want to show here that if I'm rewatching the video or when I'm editing the video, that I will always see this yarn and I will always hear myself saying that I want to knit it. But one rule that I have for myself as well, I will not cast it on until I finished one of my other whips, because I think at the moment I have 4 whips and this is about enough for me. More would not be good for myself, and so I have to finish one and then I can cast on another. But yes, maybe also if you guys in the comments say, oh my god, this is such a nice yarn, I have a completely other idea than just making it a scarf, because that would be the easy way out, then tell me. Give me other ideas about that one. And I'm not going to make that into a sweater, I'm not going to make that into a slip over, because I know that I wouldn't wear that, because I love really nude and basic colors when I'm wearing stuff, and that would be too much color for me. But I feel like this in a scarf would be really nice, because then I would be able to combine it with a lot of my basic other stuff. So yes. Okay, I think that was it already for today's knitting podcast. We spoke about all of my whips. I've showed you all of my finished projects, and now we also talked a little bit about stuff that I recently got or something like that. I still don't know what I would name this category, but anyways, I hope you liked it. I will start to edit this one now, and I hope that I will be able to bring it out to you as fast as possible, because I can't wait myself. And again, if I pronounce some things really weird, then I'm sorry. I'm trying to get back into it. But yes, I hope you liked it. Make sure, if you liked it, I would be extremely happy if you would leave a comment or something in the comment section. Of course, I'm always happy if you like the video and give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more, maybe consider giving me a follow. That would be really nice. Yes, and I guess we will see each other again in the next knitting podcast or in the next video that I will upload. Until then, happy knitting and goodbye.